What inspires me is the opportunity to make a difference in the world.
Research is about that journey, about discovering new things.
You can dream of something and you can turn the dream into reality.
We are going to have an exciting discussion today on energy used by the IT infrastructure. At HP, we are committed to creating a sustainable IT ecosystem by minimizing the destruction of natural resources. This leads us to take a cradle-to-cradle view. Cradle-to-cradle view means examining the energy required in extracting material, manufacturing, operating, and recycling or reclamation of our products. My previous research has focused on reducing the energy used in running the data center. I would like us to examine how do we reduce the material in the data center. So what does the data center look like? It has rows and rows of racks. It's a material hog. It's an energy hog. Let's blow it up. We are left with lots of copper cables connecting these systems. How do we take the copper cables out of the data center? What do you think? How would you do it?
I'd get rid of all of that copper and use light beams to move the information instead. You could use lasers and photodetectors to move all that information around inside the data center.
What would be the impact of using light beams?
Probably we could improve the efficiency by a factor of 100.
Excellent. We have treated the data center as a computer, reduced the energy in operation, and we reduced the destruction of natural resources.
We span from nanotechnology to flexible displays.
So many people working on so many different kinds of things that you never run out of new things to think about.
It's very freeing and it's very exciting.
When I joined Hewlett-Packard, I was very interested originally in the notion of using markets for predicting outcomes. I think that that's exactly what a racetrack does. All the variables that go into picking a winning horse are similar to those of predicting business outcomes. Just looking at this sort of suggests the idea of using mechanisms like this in order to predict, say, future sales of components or future revenues, the outcome of investments. Brain sets up a group of about 15 people who place monetary bets on future outcomes. It is based on 3 basic intuitions. The first one, where there is money on the table, people behave very differently. Second, people sometimes are very risk-averse and they behave very differently from very risk-seeking people. And lastly, when people are alone and they are not pressured by their peers, they will tend to offer an opinion that is a little more accurate than the one that is essentially influenced by their peers. We analyze the variables for a specific business problem and then structure a new predictive service after determining the participants' risk attitudes. We call it BRAIN. HP Services works with companies to apply the BRAIN principles and algorithms to help them predict business outcomes. We tested this first within HP to predict the price of memory, a commodity we use a lot of and whose accurate pricing greatly affects our profits. We put 15 procurement people in a room and asked them to predict what the price of memory would be in 3 months and 6 months hence. As a group, their answer was $19 per unit. We then put a monetary reward on the table for those who predict accurately and set them off on their own to make the same prediction. Using the BRAIN system, this time the group determined a cost of $18.40 per unit. 3 months later, this turned out to be an accurate prediction. Now, 60 cents per unit difference may not seem like a lot, but when you multiply it by millions of units, we are talking about a substantial difference, one that can greatly affect the company's bottom line. In compiling all the cases in which we've applied the principles of BRAIN, we found out that 90% of the time, BRAIN outperforms the standard tools that we have for predicting business outcomes.
It's very satisfying to know that the research that you're doing really responds to a very concrete need.
I think it's a whole circle, starting with need, solution, and then taking it to the market.
I run a group called Corporate Ventures that works closely with the researchers in HP Labs. We take the inventions from labs and incubate them as new business opportunities. Right now we're working on a digital conversion platform called BookPrep.
BookPrep automates the cleanup of digitized books, cropping and aligning pages, sharpening the text, brightening the colors, creating high-quality digital print files ready for print on demand. This makes it possible to bring back into print every book ever published and manage them in an online virtual library at a much lower cost than physical inventory. Book Prep also allows you to customize and personalize your book. So now you can take Granny's favorite old cookbooks, mix in your own recipes, and create your own personalized family cookbook.
So now anyone can order online any book ever published, customize it, and have it delivered to their door in 24 hours.
Collaboration is vital.
Many people come together with different kinds of ideas and different kinds of backgrounds.
It's actually a very humble experience because no matter how smart you are, you actually encounter people who are a lot smarter.
At HP Labs in Bristol, we're working on a technology called Mediascapes. A mediascape is like rolling out a digital carpet onto a physical landscape. One really exciting use of the technology is in the creation of a new genre of digital gaming. It's all possible because of location technology and the media that we can deliver to mobile gaming devices like this one. Imagine time traveling through the echoes of a city's history or turning it into a medieval world where magical experiences can be hidden around any corner. For a more practical application, imagine you're an engineer who needs to solve a problem that lies behind the wall of a building. With GPS, a digital compass and accelerometers, you can use a mobile device to virtually see what's behind the wall at any particular point. Not only the layout of the infrastructure of the building can be displayed, but also schematics, coupling points, or anything that can be stored on a database. Think of Mediascapes as a new technology and a new medium, with possibilities as wide as your imagination.
Our job at HP Labs is to create the future for the Hewlett-Packard Company.
Make big bets on things that could really pay off.
Solving real customer problems.
Making consumers happy.
Make a person's life easier.
HP Labs, we are not only seeing the future, but we are making the future.